So I'll kind of have to restart that. But your question on Bitcoin, getting back to it, the whole speed of the process with the Lightning Network. The Lightning Network is a layer 2 on top of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is layer 1. Think of that as the first layer. And then there's a layer they wrap around it. That's a layer 2. And that layer 2 speeds up the processing on Bitcoin, right? It's already built on top of it. So it speeds it up and makes it virtually free to be able to do transactions. Okay. So the whole
That's
point
completely different from Bitcoin Cash, though.
Correct, because Bitcoin Cash does it on its own blockchain.
Okay.
Where this is a layer 2 wrapped around it. Now, if that gets really fast, which it isn't super fast yet, but it's much faster than it used to be and much cheaper. People are paying pennies for a transaction, which is great.
Okay.
But if that ever gets faster, Bitcoin Cash will end up doing the Lightning on top of theirs as well. Litecoin has the same thing, the Lightning Network built on top of it. It's a really pretty popular layer 2. There's a lot of layer 2s out there. There's layer 3s, but the whole point of people with Bitcoin, they want Bitcoin to remain pure the way it is. And I totally agree with that too, that original blockchain, the way it was meant to be as a storage of wealth, which it is. And if you want to speed things up and make it transactional, you just add the Lightning Network on top of it. And then there's layer 3s on top of it, like the Cash App.
Okay.
Right? And other apps, Venmo and these other things. So they're all kind of built on top
you use your Bitcoin then to purchase things. Like I could use my Bitcoin to go get a cup of coffee using.
Yeah. And as long as that particular coffee shop takes, which is called Strike, I believe, which is a merchant service program that for crypto.
Okay.
So yeah, not all of them do it, right? There's only certain places that do it. However, a way around it is you get a card. Let me grab it real quick. I got one over here. So the crypto.com Visa, that's just one of the few that I have, right? Yeah. Crypto.com Visa. So there's ones called Fold and other ones that allows me to purchase with crypto, whether it's Bitcoin or whatever, in Visa, through Visa, right? Through Visa Merchant Services. So it converts it at that point, whatever the value is at that point. Let's say you have $200 worth of Bitcoin in that Visa. Whatever that is, it's really just more of a debit card when you think about it, right?
Like
it's not credit.
Card. Yeah.
It's a debit card, but it's loaded and backed by whatever crypto you're using, whether it's Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, not Ethereum.
I can load money onto it to use at my discretion.
Yes.
Okay.
And on this one, I have the Crow token. So that's what do you call it? I'm blanking on the name of the crypto.com's platform. That's their native token. I can use that. Okay. I don't know, 7 cents, 9 cents, whatever it is now, might be a little bit more than that. I can use that to purchase. So that's kind of a way around it right now. And it'll kind of grow as the future goes, and you'll have more companies out there doing things. There'll be more layer 2s, more layer 3s to really improve and streamline the process and build on top of Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin can't have smart contracts, but Bitcoin Cash was built to be able to have smart contracts. But Bitcoin can have smart contract layer 2 wrapped around it. So you can have smart contracts built into a
Lightning Network and things like that.
Like through the Lightning Network or through another network, which will attach what that network will do. Let's say it's block number 18743, right? I'm just throwing out generic numbers out there. That smart contract will link to that. Attach it to your wallet. And if you're doing a transaction with somebody else, they'll be able to see that, right? As the smart contract there. It gets real complex, but it's kind of simple. If you think about it, it's just attached and it knows where it is. Transactions built into blockchain. And in Bitcoin's blockchain, you have 72,000 computers running the network, right? All these nodes running the network. So they all have to agree on it or it's spit out, right? If somebody tries to commit fraud on there, it doesn't, it just rejects it.
Okay.
It doesn't work.
Is that why they say it's so secure?
So secure. It's the most secure one. It's been tried to be hacked for years and years and years, and nobody's been able to hack it, in part because they use these SHA-243 ASIC miners.
Yeah. And
those miners are meant to do one thing, just protect the blockchain and build it out and protect it.
Okay.
And just so you know, today, I actually bought 10 of them. I'm now mining Bitcoin. Should start tomorrow, the next day. I think I paid like around $2,300 for each of these miners. And one of the reasons I did it is because kind of where we are. It's another reason I want to get into where we are in the cycle. Because you've heard probably of Bitcoin halvings, right? What a Bitcoin halving is.
I don't know what that is. No.
So what happens is basically it's like every 2 years you have this. Last one was in May 11th of 2020. Let me see if I can pull that up. One of these might have that.
Oh, is it when Bitcoin goes nuts?
This is the next Bitcoin halving. So what happens is the rewards that miners like me, so we're mining it. And then every 2 years when it hits this certain point, it reduces the rewards we get and reduces the number of Bitcoin that are mined. So you're still producing this electricity, but the rewards are less, which means the price has got to go up to offset the increase in, the electricity cost and the decrease in the rewards you get. So every halving cycle, it does. And if you go look at it, let's see, one of these, I have it here. If you go back to 2012 was kind of hard to see. 2013, it really shot up here, right? It went from, I believe it was like 4 something to 1,127 within 1 year. And it happens almost every single halving. Then you go to 2016. In July of 2016 is when Bitcoin was, let's go back to July, $623 in July 2016. That was July 9th, 2016, that halving. And then if you follow it up, you see the price really starting to go up. And then you get a year out and look where you are, 2871. Massive increase, right? You're going from 623 to $2,871.
That's a big jump.
Huge. Now the biggest one ever you get into, so it was the May 11th, 2020 halving. Where are we at here? March, April, May. Right there, May 11th, 2020 halving. And then look, boom.
Holy smokes.
Not even a year later, look where you are. I mean, that's insane.
53,000. Yeah.
From 9,000 to this one here, 56,000. Actually, yeah, if you go to May 50 or 35, it shot way down and then shot way back up to the all-time high was 69,000. This is not showing that. I must not be hitting on the right spot. 69,000 in 2021. But each of these halving events, this is what happens. You have within a year of that halving event, it goes up. Now it starts going up leading into the halving event, even if you go into it here. Because if you get back to, when was it? 2016 here. 2016 was July. So you see the numbers going up. And there we go. We're leading into here. Boom, boom. July, it starts going up and then it just accelerates.
Yep.
And you always have pullbacks. You're always going to have pullbacks and then up and then a pullback. If you remember here, this is Federal Reserve caused, because Federal Reserve was raising rates back then. Remember, and Trump said, stop raising rates. You're killing the economy, right? Back in 2019.
Yeah, I remember.
Those rates directly affected the amount of money that was going into Bitcoin too. So that dropped that number there. And that was really around like December, January, December of 2019, or is that right? 2018 into early 2019 when it got hammered. And then they reversed course. And what did Bitcoin do? It also reversed course, chopped sideways for a while. And then COVID.
Oh, it shot up. Yeah.
Yeah, it went parabolic. This is, if you look at a lot of this is probably from cheap money coming in, right? Zero interest rates, helicopter money going out to people, and people, where do I put my money? Cryptos are skyrocketing. I'll make money on crypto. And that's what happened.
Do you think Bitcoin will stay kind of fluctuate right around that $20,000 mark? Like it has been for, I guess a year or so now, right?
So it's 31 now. So it shot up for just under 31. It shot up from, you see here, 20.
Yeah, it's been at 20,000 and change for
that. Right? And then the news came out about the BlackRock ETF and boom, it shot up. Now it's about 31. Let me go to, let's see, not quite.
That is coming soon, right? The BlackRock ETF.
Yep. Yeah,
that might be something to get into, right? Huh?
Yeah, absolutely. I got to find where I have that. Somewhere in here, I have the. There we go. So Bitcoin's at 30,545 right now. And a lot of that's on the BlackRock ETF, but also Fidelity came out and announced that it's launching an ETF. And Kathy Wood also filed for an ETF. She did before anybody. But the key one is BlackRock because of the amount they have under assets at like 10 trillion under assets. So if you throw, 2%, say 1 or 2% of that 10 trillion decides to put money into Bitcoin, how much does that push the Bitcoin market up, right? And that could be kind of what's going on now. Speculation is what's doing it now. So I'm waiting potentially for a little pullback to be able to buy some, maybe in the $28,000 range, 27, 28.
Yeah, let me know when you do.
And then it'll go back up. If you see 27, 28, and I'll text you if you do, that's 27, 28, upper 27s to lower 28s. That's the pullback number. That's kind of where the bottom is right now. Then it should rise back up, and it's on its way up to 38,000, according to Marty Hibbs, the guy I really follow, by sometime September, early October. Only way that changes if, let's say, some unforeseen event happens and the markets all tank, right? Something crazy happens, catastrophic, and the markets all tank. And Bitcoin, of course, is going to drop too. Then it's going to take much longer for it to come up to that 38. But he figures worst case by year end, you're at 38, but much likely well over 40 is what he's saying by year end.
Okay.
And that's kind of why I jumped into the Bitcoin miners now. So I'm paying $2,300 for a brand new rig. Last year, when I went to the Bitcoin conference, these were $10,000 per rig. So the cost way down because the demand is way down because the price is way down. So that's the time to buy, right? When everything's cheap. So now I'm doing it. It's kind of a dual play. I want to mine it. I want to be able to earn it, but I got to pay on those 10 miners. I've got to pay $1,935 a month in electricity costs, plus cleaning costs and maintenance costs. And then whatever a little extra in case any of them go down for any period of time for repairs, that's going to be out of my pocket too. So figure around $2,000 a month. So I've got to be clearing, $3,000-$4,000 a month to really make good money out of I put 27,000. It cost me 27,000 with deposits and everything for these. So I got to be able to make that I'm looking at a year or 2 years, really. I signed a 1-year contract, but I'm likely to hold it for 2. But let's say Bitcoin goes to 65 or 70,000 early next year, right around the time of the halving. The miners might be worth $10,000, $15,000 too. So now I've got this increased value of Bitcoin and the increased value of the miners, and I could sell the mining rig on the marketplace that they have there. So now I can double dip. It's almost a way to double dip a little bit. It's like doubling down on craps or blackjack, you could do a little more with it. So I'm playing that and I'm looking at the cycles. I'm like, all right, it's done this every single time leading up to the halving. Why won't I go in now? Like, makes so much sense when you just look at the numbers. Yeah. The way it has with every single halving. And this time it shot up like crazy. I don't expect maybe it goes quite this vertical like it did last time, but it's going to be fairly vertical.
You'll have to show me this site to buy it on, and then I guess I got to get one of those cards, right, to store it.
Oh, yeah. So the Ballet Crypto cards, for those on the call or people that know about it, Ballet Crypto is the easiest cold storage method and is basically a credit card like that. Very simple. It's called Ballet Crypto, BALLET crypto. And it doesn't hold every crypto, but it holds a bunch of them. And if you're looking to just get some of the basics, which is all I
hold all my cryptos on there.
What's that?
I could hold all my cryptos on there.
You can hold a bunch of your cryptos on there, a bunch of, not all of them. If you want to hold a bunch of different ones, then you want to get the Trezor or Ledger. And that is cold storage as well. But, it's plugged in. That's a whole different animal. That's a little tougher to learn than the other one. The other one's simple, really, really simple.
With the Ballet card? Ballet
card is so easy. So simple.
When you're up, you'll have to show me how to do that. I'll burn my computer.
It's like literally a 5 to 10 minute thing. I can show you how to do it. It's so simple.
I don't want to lose it and lose it.
No, what you do is if you end up buying some Bitcoin on Coinbase or Binance, whatever. Now Binance won't let you load the US dollar on it now. So probably go buy on Coinbase or crypto.com. And then I'll show you how to transfer it off onto your cold storage wallet.
Coinbase or crypto.com to buy it.
Yeah, those are going to be your 2 easiest right now. So with that, let me go to, where is that? So 302 days, obviously, to the next block reward. So we're getting close, just under a year. But that's just a Bitcoin chart that I was looking at. Oh, ChatGPT talks about the Bitcoin halving, right? There's a nice little article that was written about what ChatGPT thinks Bitcoin is going to do, which is great. It's just looking at historical stuff. And it talks about the Bitcoin halving right here. And it's actually pretty good if you want to learn a little bit about it here. They occur every 210,000 blocks, roughly every 4 years initially. And now they drop down, and it's basically almost every 2 now that they go. Actually, no, I'm sorry. It's going to be 4 again, because 20 and 24, it's still 4. Still 4. And then, like I said, it's going to be less and less Bitcoin being mined all the way through. I think the last Bitcoin will be mined around 2032, if I'm not mistaken, right in around there.
So there's only going to be
21 million.
That's it. Mine them after 2032.
Right. There'll be no more mined.
So when you're mining Bitcoins, you're creating more Bitcoins, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there'll be more than 21. There's 21 million, right?
Yep.
Now, so say there'll be 30 million by then.
Oh, no, there's not 21 million now. 21 million will be the total when it's all done.
Okay.
That's it. Wow. No more than 21 million. So right now in circulation, I want to say somewhere around 15 or 16, I think. And 5 to 7 have been permanently lost, 5 to 7 million. One of them is in the creator, Satoshi Nakamoto's 1 million is in his wallet, which has never moved. It's never changed. Who knows what happened to whoever that was that created it, but it could come out of that wallet and be moved at some point. But right now it hasn't been since like 2000.
7 million that was lost. There's no way to get that back.
Correct. Well, potentially there might be able to down the road. Like there's some people that forgot their password and they have a few more times to try their password. Or they
themselves can't find it, even though
they themselves can't. Yeah.
Wow.
And that's just like most of that is if you go to it, right? The technology was new, it came out in 2009. Wallets were not simple like they are now, and they're still not simple, but they were really difficult then. So it was a lot harder for people, and a lot more people lost their stuff. Now people are not losing it so much. It's not as difficult as it used to be back in the day, which is why so many were lost. So if you think about that, maybe there's going to be 15 to 17 million Bitcoin in existence, if that, even less potentially. And there's 45 million millionaires in the world. There's not even enough Bitcoin for one Bitcoin per millionaire out there. So scarcity is what gives it the value, which is why you can see it going up. But it's not to say that there won't be something else that comes out that's bigger and better down the road.
Kind of like gold back in the day.
Yep. And gold, right? You can mine more. More gold can be mined. You cannot mine any more Bitcoin. So it's the truest form of money that we've ever had, because you can mine more silver, mine more gold, and dilute it and water it down. Can't do that with Bitcoin. So it's like the perfect backstop reserve currency, which will probably never get used that way, except for in El Salvador and a couple of the small countries that do have it as a reserve currency. But it's probably not going to be used in general that way, but it's going to be used as storage wealth for people. And if you look at inflation around the world, look at Argentina, 114%, Turkey, 39%, UK, 8.7, Italy, 7.6, a lot of, and Europe's getting killed with inflation. We're still pretty high too, but we're down to 4.
Yeah, that number
people want to
really at 4 though.
It's right. It's not really at 4. We know it's well over double digits there.
Yeah,
with real inflation. They don't count the most important things: food, fuel, everyday things that you need. Yeah, it's ridiculous what they look at. But people want to preserve their wealth, and sitting in a bank, they lose money. So why wouldn't you put it in something like Bitcoin that's going to go up over time? So if you don't need it right away, right? If you need it right away, then maybe you put a small amount in Bitcoin and other stuff. You put some things in. But whether you lock it up with Bitcoin, which isn't getting locked up for a period of time, you always reduce risk that it could go down. But if you put it in a CD, you're locked in for 6 months, a year, at least, if not more. That you can't get to that money without a penalty. So I think I'd rather, older people, they'll still do the CDs and these things, but younger people, our age and younger, especially the Gen Zers out there, they're going to be going more to the cryptos, especially the ones that are more stable. Plus, you can put it in stable coin. If Bitcoin shoots up and you're afraid it's going to go down, put some into a stable coin like Tether or USDC, right? And then it's basically like a money market. You're at $1. So that's a safer way to do it. But getting back to ChatGPT here, since I'm bouncing around, it talks about the halving as as it pushes the price up, and it typically always has it throughout history. So there's more on that too. If you guys want to see that, it's just cryptopotato.com. You can find it there. Here's the BlackRock benefits of BlackRock as a spot ETF. It's going to push in a ton of more money, a ton more capital. Bitcoin Cash, as a matter of fact, has seen a big jump, if you guys didn't notice or not, but it went from like 110, like 220, 215. So a big jump. It doubled its price in a week, more or less. But that's because one of the new exchanges out there by Fidelity and Chase and a couple other banks, more or less, that have created this new crypto exchange. They had Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Bitcoin, and Ethereum, those 4 cryptos out there. So Bitcoin Cash got a big bump because of that. Bitcoin dominance chart is something to always look at. You know, it goes up and down over time, but it's going way back up pretty quick here. Because what happens is as the market shifts, Bitcoin goes up, the altcoins, which is anything other than Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash is an altcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, they're all altcoins. They don't go up with Bitcoin initially. What's that, Jake?
What are altcoins?
Altcoins is anything other than Bitcoin. So that'd be Cardano, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Theta,
Okay.
Polkadot, all these other ones that are out there. And there's 10,000 of them at least, if not more out there. A lot of junk coins that we don't even bother getting into. Bitcoin goes up first. As it goes up, what it's best to do if you want to maximize your returns, the altcoins followed up later. So Bitcoin's going up, it went up pretty well. Maybe you turn some of that Bitcoin into some other altcoins because they're going to go up exponentially more. And as they shoot up, then you switch that money back from altcoins back to Bitcoin, which is more stable than the other ones. So there's a way to do it. And then if you see the market just petering out like it did a couple of years ago, then you put it into stable coins, more or less. Or, you know, you turn it into gold or silver if you want to. But if you think about gold, Bitcoin is looked at as digital gold. If you're taking gold with you and you're traveling somewhere, it's a pain in the ass to do. The airport's not going to want you to be bringing gold, right? It's an issue.
Heavy.
Yes. So you can bring digital gold right there on your phone, Bitcoin, with you anywhere. So the great thing about Bitcoin is that, right? You could take it literally anywhere. That's why it's got the most use case pretty much right now. And that's why people like it the best. It's most stable of all of them. However, there's a bunch of good ones out there, like Theta, the one I put out there. I still like Bitcoin Cash. And if you think about it, if the run on Bitcoin goes parabolic, people will feel like it's too late. They missed out on the Bitcoin run. Don't want to buy something else that's Bitcoin. Bitcoin Cash, right? Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Silver, Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Cash ABC, which are all forks off Bitcoin Cash. So remember I was telling you earlier that Bitcoin Cash was a fork off of Bitcoin. Well, then Bitcoin Silver forked off of Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin ABC forked off of Bitcoin Cash. So all these arguments between these miners, they want to do different things and you get all these goofy forks. But if you think about new people getting into crypto and they know Bitcoin's the big one, they'll probably buy anything that says Bitcoin on it. And those things will have a run up, even if they're not that useful or great over time. So it's not a bad idea to be buying into some of those.
Bitcoin owns Bitcoin Cash.
What's that?
Really no affiliation now, right?
No affiliation. Yeah. No affiliation, except that if you held Bitcoin, when it forked off the Bitcoin Cash, you got whatever amount you had of Bitcoin in Bitcoin Cash. They just dropped it to you, airdropped it for nothing. And then Bitcoin Cash, like I had when it forked off an ABC Bitcoin Cash, I got some of that because they just give it to you. The good thing about crypto is they'll give it to you when it forks for nothing.
It's like a split.
Yeah. It's like a stock split.
Yeah.
In a way. All right. Let's see what else I had here.
Now, what would happen to say like the cryptos, like, you know, I've heard some talk about it and I could see, you know, it eventually going that way with, you know, how less and less valuable the dollar is. Like, say like these companies or these big banks basically creating their own currency, like Chase Bucks or Amazon Bucks or something like that.
Definitely could see that. Amazon making its own coin down the road. Walmart maybe making its own coin down the road that you use as the currency to buy there. You convert it either from US dollar or what they do is to incentivize you to use it. they'll give you discounts off the price by using that coin,
Right.
right? So they'll get some benefits there. Right now, I know Amazon, and this was as of like 3 years ago, they already had not the ability to, but they had already created the ability to use Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and a few other cryptos, Bitcoin obviously too, to buy on their platform. It's not live yet, and who knows when it will be, but they already bought those up. So they have the ability to do it, and they're probably working behind the scenes to do it. So it's only a matter of time before that happens on Amazon. They're
can
pretty
see that,
forward
yeah.
thinking. Yeah, they're pretty forward thinking on that. But you can see a lot of different companies creating their own coins, right? Would
I
make
can see it, yeah, especially like JP Morgan, something like that.
But then they're going to be under the scrutiny of the SEC, like XRP
That's
is.
true. It's very
So
true.
there's issues there. It becomes a security. So depending on how they create it, they're going to say, no, it's not a security, it's a currency. They're going to use it as a currency. So maybe they almost make it like a stable coin type of thing that you buy through them.
I can see that, yeah.
Because then if you think about it, if you're using Walmart coin, say, they could track, I mean, literally everything. If you're using it somewhere else, they track everything you're buying. If you can use it somewhere else, right?
Would
They
be
can track
pretty
everything,
smart
just
for
like the
them.
CBDCs can, right? The
Yeah.
CBDCs will be able to
They
track
can
everything
market
you buy.
right to you. Yeah.
Yep. So I can see-
Not that they don't already. I mean, my
Right.
phone's probably listening to me.
It does, right? If you're talking about a certain product, it'll pop up on ads all the time.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy.
It does listen to you. There's no doubt. The XRP lawsuit is, from what I hear, almost totally wrapped up. The judge just has to make a decision. So I'm sure that's gonna be a win for XRP, and that'll go up it's 48 cents now, probably go up $1.50, $3 within a 6-month period, if not quicker. Cardano, I've talked a little bit about that one. So Litecoin was one that ran up a couple of months ago. And I was wondering if institutional money was pouring into it because it really ran up. Nothing else was going up. It was outpacing Bitcoin. It was weird how it was going up. If you kind of look at the chart here, it shot up, but nothing else was
Yeah,
really
see it
shooting
right
up.
there.
Yep. And now Bitcoin Cash is doing that. Bitcoin Cash should be around 17, 18. Here we go. Now Bitcoin Cash is outpacing everything. If you look at it over 7 days, it's up 106%. It's at 229 right
I
now.
think there's some institutional money in there.
Definitely getting institutional money pumped into it right now. So there's definitely that going on. When you see one in particular up like that and the other one's not, there's some institutional buying. Chainlink, by the way, is an oracle. What an oracle is, it feeds information into other blockchains. So I think Chainlink's connected to at least 7 other cryptos, if not more. And what it does, it'll drop information like Avalanche. They'll want information or news information, even poured into their blockchain. And Chainlink is the oracle that could do that and dump it into their blockchain. Cosmos is a good one too. Long term one. I like
Crypto Chainlink.
Chainlink. Yep.
You can use that for everything from one crypto to the other.
One crypto to the other. You can jump it back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chainlink is that's why it's one of the ones I really like. It's got so many use cases.
Like Bitcoin to Ethereum to something
Mhm.
like that,
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
And if you want nobody to know your transactions, Monero. You can do it everything under the cover of
I like
darkness.
that. I like what they're doing right now.
Yeah. And there's a few others, Zcash, there's a bunch of others, probably a handful, like 6 or 7 or 8 others that are pretty big like that. Hedera, Hashgraph, they're actually, well, they're pretty important with what they do, but some of these you'll find linked to the World Economic Forum. Hedera is one of them. Other ones, I think actually Polkadot to an extent, big time Ethereum.
Oh God.
Which is one of the, I don't like Ethereum. I never really did care for it too much, even though it's got such use case. I really don't trust the guy that owns it and runs it. Just don't.
Yeah, if he's linked to
He's under their control completely. So
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of it. I'll go to Solana, which is direct competitor to them. I'll go to Cardano, which is direct competitor to them. So Litecoin is a bit like Bitcoin Cash and like Bitcoin. Litecoin was made by Charlie Lee. He created to be silver where Bitcoin is gold. So it has a lot more units. I think it's like 88
Is that
million.
for transactions too?
Yes, can be used for transactions, very cheap, very quick.
Okay,
It has use case, very good use case. I've held this for a long time. It's been as high as like $300-400, somewhere in that range. Of course, Bitcoin Cash has been as high as $4,500, I believe. And now look at it, right? So there's a lot of junk coins in there, though. So Fidelity,
1.1
though.
billion.
What's that?
It's the market cap is what, 1.1 billion it said there or something like that?
Oh
or
yeah, let's
total
go
value
that. Where did I lose that? There we
What's
go.
in circulation.
For Bitcoin Cash, yep. Yeah, there's a lot out. It's a big market. There's a lot out. It's got a lot of use case for sure. I'm gonna go to Fidelity's ETF because that's pretty big with them. They're doing another spot Bitcoin ETF. So you have all these spot Bitcoin ETFs popping up by big institutions, and Fidelity can already custody your Bitcoin for you. Fidelity's been so much further ahead of the game than all the other mutual funds out there in these companies. It's ridiculous in the crypto space. So a lot more money is going to be pouring in. You see all this news with all these different ETFs coming. And I think part of the flow was once people saw BlackRock, oh, they know it's going to be approved. Now we can get ours approved. So they all go in line. That means a lot of money is going to be pouring in. And we're looking at like, it wouldn't surprise me at the end of 2024, maybe early 2025, Bitcoin could be $170,000. And I'm not kidding. It could be sooner than that. That's where it could be if all this money goes in. If you just look and follow with the market cap and the growth that it typically does.
I better buy Bitcoin now.
Exactly. Like you can't go wrong. If just think of it like this, holding money. It's your long-term hold. You're playing this longer term. You're not trying to day trade. I've hodled way too much of my cryptos. I should have sold. Next time the market really shoots up, I'm going to sell a massive amount of my portfolio and just put it into just Bitcoin and stable coins and try to preserve as much as I can.
Now, more and
I've
more
run out.
people putting money into crypto and these ETFs being filed. Could that hurt the dollar? That people are saying, hey, we're
Yeah.
putting our money into something that's a little bit more stable and has value behind it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. It definitely will put a dent in a dollar if more and more people are getting into that. Just like if they pour more and more money into gold or silver.
right.
And when they see dents in the armor, people will be running. If they see the dollar losing value, they'll be running in other assets. Any hard asset would be good. Gold, silver, real estate would be great, right? Any of these hard assets that could produce something, you're going to be able to, you're doing pretty well with them when the dollar starts losing its value. Dollar's still going to be good for a little while here, though. I don't know how. It may be good for a year or two, maybe even longer.
Yeah,
But it's just because all the other currencies are so bad.
yeah.
But if more money floats over into these cryptos, it's still going to put a little bit of a dent in it, right? It won't allow it to get up to what it would normally potentially.
Yeah, plus all these other countries that are getting off the dollar too.
Yes, the dollarization around the world, the BRICS nations. Yeah, that's already, it's been going on for a couple of years now, and it just seems like it's got a lot of momentum.
Oh, it's certainly, since this whole war has started, it's gone into overdrive.
Big time. Yeah, we had recently, Brazil in there and a couple other South American countries have been added. India, obviously the big ones, and China and Russia. Those are the big guys in there. But you have different countries in Africa that are part of the BRICS network now. It just keeps growing and growing and growing. As a matter of fact, there's more countries aligned with BRICS than there are with us now, which is crazy. We just have the money and the control and the reserve currency. So that's our advantage, and that's temporarily. Here we go. I guess certain platforms, there you go. You're seeing more Bitcoin miners ahead of the 2024 halving, and I'm a part of that right now that I'm adding my miners out there. There's other people like me that are seeing, all right, now's a good opportunity to go ahead and do it. And especially while everything is dirt cheap. Electricity cost is your biggest risk, right? If electricity costs were to go up, the government pulled some baloney, then that's your risk, right?
Yeah.
These rigs are in
Get away with
Kentucky.
tax or electricity then.
Yep. These rigs are in Kentucky, which is pretty good state government to be in, pretty low cost of electricity and lower risk of being regulated, at least at a state level. So that's a positive.
Rand Paul in charge, no way. It's not gonna get.
Yeah, that's right. Not happening.
Yeah.
The libertarians all love crypto. Let's see, Trust went into bankruptcy, right? Which is one of these companies that bought a lot of some Bitcoin, some cryptos, but way too many treasuries, I believe, and they're getting killed negatively with the treasuries.
Like the banks.
Like the banks, yeah. So not good. And this little weasel right here, Gary Gensler. We got to get rid of him soon. He's a problem. It's a problem for cryptos. He's a problem for everything, really. Under his watch, more banks have gone belly up. And that's not necessarily his fault, right? Because this is driven by the Federal Reserve with the rates, increasing the rates, which has really reduced the value of those bonds, which has killed these banks and is killing commercial real estate more. So that isn't necessarily his fault, but all the corrupt things going on, like FTX, when he was buddies with Sam Bankman-Fried, meeting with them and all this corrupt, you're meeting with the SEC chair and he doesn't see anything, doesn't know anything that's going on, and all these people lose money. I don't know how he should have been fired that day that came out. Should have been gone.
Yeah, well, he's in with the right people.
He is. Sooner or later, hopefully he'll.
And all the regulations and stuff like that too. It kills it, you know?
Oh, it does. So, one of the other good things that came out was from Hong Kong. Let's see where it is. There's something in here. Not sure if Hong Kong. Here we go. So HSBC rolls out cryptocurrency services in Hong Kong because Hong Kong has put out regulations and they're really super crypto friendly. So you're gonna have more of these companies going there, but that's helped Bitcoin as well. News like that. Let's see, there's something else in here.
Where can we get news like that?
So there's news.bitcoin.com, coindesk.com, cointelegraph.com. Let's see other ones we got here. cex.io. I don't like that one as much. Let's see what we got here. cryptopotato.com. They got occasionally some good stuff in there. See if there's another one. Decrypt. Decrypt is a good one. They've got some good info in theirs. That's a pretty good, this should be a pretty good article here. I did not get into this article yet. Bitcoin dominance. But Bitcoin dominance is going to continue to go. And Bitcoin dominance, Jake, what it means is Bitcoin's going up and the other altcoins are not. They're not going up with it. So it's getting stronger and stronger and they're not. As Bitcoin starts to fizzle out, the altcoins gain dominance against Bitcoin. And then the Bitcoin dominance flops and goes down. Because again, it's just against other altcoins, which is basically just against every other cryptocurrency out there.
Yeah.
That's all the Bitcoin dominance chart is. So follow that. You want to get that, ride that up until it really peaks or close to peaking as you think it will. And then maybe shift some of that money into other cryptos, that are altcoins, some of the good altcoins like, Cardano, like Chainlink, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, some of the bigger ones that are out there, Polkadot or Cosmos. You put some into that, then you got a nice portfolio that goes up because some will go up exponentially, some won't go up as much. It's just like having a nice stock portfolio, if you think about it.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much what's going on. So it's all good news right now, which is why the market's been green for like a week plus, which is really good. Even some of those that I had that were really down are starting to come back up. Even some of the altcoins are starting to come back up a little bit. But it's going to take a little longer for them. We're probably more waiting for the altcoin run into 2024, maybe even the middle of 2024. They'll go up as Bitcoin goes up, but not at the same rate that Bitcoin does. That's why it pays to be Bitcoin heavy right now. So
Is it rare for them both to be going up?
No,
Like
they do go up,
up
together. Generally, they do. So if the market's green, it's like all of them are green. But Bitcoin will go up more at a higher percentage, call it, than the other ones will.
Okay.
So that's just because the Bitcoin dominates out. Ethereum is the second biggest one out there. But its dominance against Bitcoin is weakening because it hasn't really gone up at all over the past 2-3 weeks or even months. And Bitcoin has. Bitcoin's gone from 24 to 31 here in a week. So it's a pretty nice jump.
It's a good jump. I'll say.
Yeah. Yeah, you got lucky with your timing when you do it. That's why dollar cost averaging is the best. Just DCA your way in. And we're getting into the time period though, where it's going to start to be too late for people. We got June, we got July, and then it might start kicking up pretty solidly in August. So that's why dollar cost average early as much as you can afford to. And then you just keep dollar cost average on the way up. Because if the market's going up,
So
you'll
buy
ride
it on
it.
it, so keep buying it on the way up.
Yeah, to an extent. But look for those days where, if you see up days, if you see red days where it's dropping down, that's when you want to buy dollar cost average. Wait for the red days to buy.
Okay.
Wait for
So
the down
buy,
days.
is it like, so it goes up to like, say it's at 31 now, it goes up
Mhm.
to like 33, back down to 32, buy it
Yeah.
at 32.
Yeah,
back
buy
up
the
to-
dips. Buy the dips is the old saying. Buy the dips, ride it back up, and don't forget to take your profits. So if it goes from 31 to 40 in a 4 or 5 month period, take some of that off the table. Take some of your
Yeah.
profits off the
Yeah.
table.
Sell,
Put it in cash or stable coin.
buy real estate.
Oh, buy real estate. Yep. Speaking of real estate, we'll talk a little bit about that here. I got to send the last Altos. Inventory continues to be low, right? It's lower at this point than it was last year, which good and bad. It's stabilized pricing. As we've seen, right? Prices they're fairly stable depending what market you're in. Some are up, some are down.
Yeah.
When he looks at it, he goes, I don't know where inventory is going to come from. Just don't. I think where inventory could come from though is job loss.
Yeah,
That's
you're
your first
making me
thing, right?
depressed, Paul.
Well, think about it like
I
this.
had that deal done in Satterton and it was a good deal. And
Mhm.
this is my whole argument with my wife is like, we're not finding a deal like this. There aren't things available.
Right.
No, it'll come up. I'm like, you're not getting it, you know?
Inventory is so tight up there. And you've seen the prices have been going up.
Yeah.
It's tough though. But you know what? That's a battle you probably you don't mind losing because later on you'll be able to say, I told you so.
Yeah, but I don't want
But it'll
to,
suck. You missed
though,
opportunity.
you
Missed
know? It's
opportunity.
like, yeah. Oh gosh.
I know that's hard. That is hard. You don't want to cause any rift.
Oh, there is a big rift.
Yeah.
There is a
And you
big
got to
rift.
both be on board, right? Or it just makes it
Yeah.
miserable.
Oh yeah.
So that's why you got to look at it. But
We'll get into it at golf. There's a funny story involved.
I'm looking forward to hearing that one.
It,
But
my friends call me
inventory,
an idiot.
they called you an idiot?
Well, they're like, dude, this is not going to go over well.
Yeah. Well, look, you got to pick your battles with the wife.
I know, right?
Happy wife, happy life.
Yep.
So something else hopefully will come along. But here's what we can look at for opportunity in real estate. Some other real estate investors on this call too. If unemployment goes up, the people that are buying now at these 7% rates, 6.75, unemployment goes up, they're likely foreclosures because they're already kind of like at the peak of what they can afford. So foreclosures are going to go up over the next 5, maybe 10 years or longer.
You could find like semi-new construction right on foreclosure, right in
Yeah.
foreclosure. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Matter of fact, we're seeing some stuff. We occasionally see with the double wides, right? That were built in like 2021, 2022, that are in foreclosure. Now you can buy them at
I've
auction.
seen some, I mean, they're small. They're like 1,800 square foot, like rancher style homes,
Mhm.
like in Oklahoma. There's been a few in like Odessa area, Texas area.
Seen them in the
They're
Odessa.
like brand new.
Yep.
Like that one on Crosby Avenue in Odessa, we keep bidding on.
Yep.
It was built in like 2020.
Yeah. I mean, you see this is going to continue to happen. It's just going to get worse as the economy gets worse, right? Because the economy is not really on good foundation right now. There's too many negative things going on with it. Lack of growth, too much the cost of everything is way too high, so people don't really have any disposable income to spend.
Stagflation.
Yep. Stagflation, dragflation, it drags everything down. But real estate, residential is still gonna be solid, at least for the next year or two, unless we have massive unemployment. Massive
The only
unemployment.
way for it to go down is massive unemployment because the
Yep.
inventory is gonna keep it propped up.
Correct, yeah.
Lack of inventory, right?
Yeah, that's what we're seeing. So until that trend shifts or changes, that's what we're seeing. That is what we're seeing. I think that's all the stuff I had here to go over. Yeah, Bitcoin chart, inflation. Inflation one's interesting when you look at some of these countries. Do you think Argentina or Turkey use consumer price index like we do? Because if so, what is that real rate of inflation instead of
Yeah.
115?
Yeah, no,
Could
they
be
definitely.
200%.
Yeah, yeah,
Think these people want to be in Bitcoin? They want to pour their money into it. Right?
absolutely.
These people want to pour their money into
Good
Bitcoin
question. Yeah,
to preserve their
question.
wealth. So
and look
That
at
helps.
Germany, Jesus,
mhm.
serves them right.
Yep, does.
They were
Does.
told,
You know what? What's not on here? Venezuela, because Venezuela's inflation is like insane, like these guys.
well, they got toppled, what, a couple years ago, right? There was something happened with their government where they just basically forget what it was. They got, was it the dictator or something got toppled or something like that?
He's still there. I'm not sure like how much power he still has. And we
Yeah.
hear nothing about him in the news anymore. Maduro.
Yeah.
We hear
There
nothing
was
about him
a
in the
big
news.
uprising a few years ago, right?
Yes. Yep. People are going after him, attacking him. And Trump was involved somewhat in that, but I can't remember exactly. He wanted him out because he liked the other guy, but that other guy got screwed over, I'm sure. You know, these dictators in charge. We're getting close to a dictatorship here.
Oh, yeah, no, we have it. It's just the uniparty,
Yeah, it is a uniparty. It's a uniparty
Yeah.
right now. That is for sure. It's a uniparty. Call it two parties, but it's really a one party system.
Yep, it really is.
And it's not about the people at all. It's about
Yeah.
politicians making more money, all of them, whether it's Marble Mouth Mitch McConnell
Protecting
put
the
more money
interest.
from China, or whether it's Joe Biden and Hunter Biden, right? They're all doing. Nancy Pelosi goes in broke and she's has how many million right now? So
Well, I mean, the biggest thing is like you look at like when they all turned on Trump back in 2015 or 2016, or right before he got elected, or when he was the main nominee, when he came out and said he came out against the Unity Party and said all the no more wars, all this stuff. It's bad for business for them.
Yeah.
So
it is. It is, which is why they don't like RFK either, right? They hate RFK because he wants to be out of every country, no wars, worry
like
about
that
your, I
guy.
mean, his platform and Trump's and DeSantis and Ramaswamy's platform are really similar in a lot of different ways. Which is got I really like that Vivek Ramaswamy. He's young, he's 37.
I like him too, actually.
He is good.
He's smart.
He's such a good speaker too. And when
He
he
is.
communicates his point, and Trump will tear you apart and like nasty. He doesn't
He's
do
very
that.
elegant.
He gets the same point across, but in a much better way.
Yeah, for
Kind of
sure.
like DeSantis. DeSantis says the same thing too, but he's still a little bit tougher than Ramaswamy.
Yeah.
But he's a super smart dude.
Yeah, that's true. The only thing about DeSantis is, I don't know. I keep thinking this is a ruse,
Could be.
because
Could be.
is he really that much of a rhino with all these rhinos in his corner right now and stuff like that?
Yeah, you never know. Follow who's really pushing him, and he might be in somebody's pocket for all we know.
I think he got into somebody's pocket.
Who has the most to lose? You got to look at it like who has the most to lose and the least to gain. So always looked at Trump. Yeah, he's a goofball in the way he does stuff, but he has the most to lose and the least to gain, and he's lost a shitload of money being a president compared to what he did in the private sector.
Yeah,
Where
sure. His brand is trash now. Well, it's not. It's 50-50.
Right. And then meanwhile, Biden's never been anything other than a politician. He just made money through that. And if he was out of being, if he wasn't a politician anymore, he'd have nothing. And then you get Ramaswamy, again, self-made multimillionaire. He has nothing to gain. He's funding his
He's
own
worth a
money.
few hundred million, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
JFK Jr., same deal, right? He has nothing to gain other than these people care and they want to see the country go the right way. So I end up, I think JFK Jr. is going to end up running third party himself.
I like that.
I do too. I do too. God bless him. Go for it.
Did you see the picture of it's like, who would you take health advice? It was a picture of him and he's all like jacked,
Yeah.
and Bill Gates.
He's
with
working.
his-
He wants to push ups and bench press. I love it. I love it. Look, man, the guy's right. We think a lot alike, you and I and him, on a lot of different things,
Yeah,
right? On probably more things than we don't. So
yeah, for sure. I listened to his it's hard to listen to all of it because you know, it's
you only
the
get so much
Rogan
time.
podcast. I listened to him when he was on Joe Rogan show.
Hmm.
Yeah, for like the first hour of it, that's about it. But he's good.
He is. He's sharp, man. He knows what went on with the vaccines. He's more into natural foods and natural stuff, and not endless wars. He likes Bitcoin. Was at the Bitcoin conference. He was at the Bitcoin conference. Ramaswamy, they both spoke, and Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard's really good too.
I like her.
I do too. Like her a
Yeah.
lot. Sharp lady, super sharp lady.
She is sharp.
We'll see. Like, I mean, she's not affiliated with any party right now. So if somebody wanted to take her on as a VP, they could do it from either party if they wanted to, right?
Trump.
Trump could. I would think,
I don't
If-
think she would do it though.
I don't know if she would either. I think if Trump does get the nomination, he would go lean towards a Ramaswamy or Candace Owens, somebody like that. Another fireball, because Candace Owens is a fireball.
Yeah, she is.
I love her. She's so freaking smart.
Where Swami would be good.
He would be.
He would be good, and
He's almost like the future
see
Trump
that.
in a different way, you know.
Yeah,
But
and
tactically,
he's gaining in the polls too.
yeah, he is. It's amazing that he jumped in. He just became number 3 right away, behind DeSantis and Trump only. But he's all over talking. He goes on NBC, CBS, CNN, Fox, all of them. He One American News. He's on.
Oh, yeah, he'll go right into the lion's den.
Yeah, and because he said it, and what he said was right, that if you expect to get across from the table from the Korean leader, the Chinese leader, how are you scared of talking to Chuck Todd on NBC or like some of these other Republicans? Or you got to be able to talk to them too
Yeah,
and answer their questions and stuff. So otherwise, you're showing weakness. And he's not afraid to go on any of them, which is good. Credit to him. And they can't rip him because he just says it in a kind way, but throws out facts.
it's good.
Somehow they're starting into politics, but it's all tied together because Bitcoin. And they were all at the Bitcoin conference.
I know you get me going.
Yeah, and the Bitcoin thing is growing, and it's growing with a lot of politicians. So it's a good thing. That's what we could take out of it. Biggest thing to take out of this meeting is Bitcoin is heading in the right direction. We're getting back into the bull market. We're not in a
I'm
full.
always
bull
happy
market.
to hear that because it's like I said, it's easier to understand.
Yeah.
It's a lot more simple.
I'm going to do more like what I've been doing with the Bitcoin, what I did with Theta, like I'm doing with Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin. I'm going to explain them all and give like pretty decent details. And then on the next call, we could just go over them again. I like giving them to you in advance in case you guys have questions on
Yeah.
stuff.
No, that's good. I like that. I appreciate it.
And anything on wallets, anybody wants to know, just reach
Yeah,
out.
I'm gonna have a lot of questions because I'm gonna go buy some here soon. I might have to have you walk me through it or
I'll
something.
walk you through it. It's
I don't
pretty
wanna,
simple. Anybody, I'll
Yeah.
walk any of these people on the call
Yeah.
here through it. So yeah, pretty simple. We just do a Zoom meeting, or if we're in person, when I get up there into PA, New Jersey area, we'll just do it in person. Pull up the computer, go right through it, go pull it on your exchange, kind of show you how to do it. It's
Yeah,
really pretty simple.
absolutely.
It's really pretty simple, but
So you're driving all the way up, huh?
yeah, driving. So we're gonna leave really early, probably, not really, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, probably on Thursday. I'll probably drive up to Virginia, maybe a little bit further.
Yeah.
I mean, normally I go crazy when I do this drive, and I go like when I go to New Jersey, I drive all the way to Jacksonville. That gets tough.
Jeez.
And then I
Yeah.
take a nap in the car for 2 minutes or 2 hours at the rest stop. But this time we're gonna Jane's coming with me, so we're just gonna get a hotel, sleep
Yeah.
in the hotel, break it up into 2 different days, get a good night's sleep, and then go the next day and finish it off.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do.
Yeah.
You
Not
have
bad
a,
when you break it up that way.
you keep a separate car up in Jersey at your shore house there?
No, so that's why I'm driving mine, because the only one we got up there is my oldest son who's in Gettysburg, his car, and then we'll
Okay.
have my car up there.
Okay,
So yeah, we'll be limited with cars, and we'll have 3 of us up there. My middle son, he's at tech school here learning HVAC until, but he's going to come up for just a few days and fly back. And then he doesn't come up until more towards the end of July and only be for like a week. So he'll have his car and he'll be down here by himself a bit,
okay.
but he's going to get a
And I guess
degree.
your daughter will come up with you?
What's that?
Your daughter will come up with you?
She's already up there now.
Oh, she is?
Yeah, Jane came down. Tyler's got her, my oldest, my 20-year-old. He's got her up there in New Jersey, taking care of her. You know, it's only gonna be for a few days here.
Okay,
And her whole day is going to sailing. She goes to sailing in the morning, pretty much all day long, and then does some
Oh,
tennis
nice.
there at the club in New Jersey. So her day's busy. So it's easy for my oldest to, just take her sailing back, and then he can do whatever he wants during the day, go back. She usually just rides her bike back by herself anyway, and even rides her bike there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah. It's
What
good. It's a
town is
little gig she's got there.
What'd you
Good
say?
little gig. It's a good little gig she's got going on there. It's like a simple life. It's a different life up there.
She's what, 10, right?
She'll turn 10 in July. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Middle July. She's like 10 days after me, 16.
And what town is that in?
Bayhead, New Jersey, which is central New Jersey, which
Is
where
that by like
manufacturers-
LBI?
Yeah, it's a little bit north of LBI, about 45 minutes, about an hour north of LBI. You know where
Okay.
Seaside Heights is?
Yeah,
About 20 minutes north of Seaside Heights, Point Pleasant area, Belmar. If you ever deep sea fishing out of Belmar, it's right there,
okay,
right in that area. So if you go, where Manufacturers Golf Club is,
yeah,
from there to our shore house is about an hour and 10,
okay,
hour and 15. It's really close. Quick, easy ride. You can go PA Turnpike, New Jersey Turnpike to 195, or you can go PA Turnpike to Route 1 and then right over to 95 through Trenton. So
Yeah. How long have you had that place?
forever. Well, we inherited it from when my mother-in-law passed away, both my wife and her sister. So we split it.
Okay,
But I've been going there since I've known her. They've had it since 80, probably 5, 6, 7, somewhere in that range.
yeah. Did you guys renovate it a bunch then?
A little bit. I did the 2 bathrooms, but
Yeah.
I don't want to pour any more money in it because we get no revenue from it. All it is money suck. So, we spent like probably 35,000 over the past year on. I don't want to put any more into it because it doesn't give me anything.
Do you rent it out when you're not there?
We don't, because my father-in-law uses it all the time. He's there
Okay.
most of the year. So we don't rent it out. And, shore house touring from, call it December to May, really even earlier than that, October to May. It's winter rental and it's super cheap. You don't get much money. Not like Florida where you can rent it out year round, right? And the biggest value time is during the winter time.
Yeah, my wife and I were talking about that because I was like, if we don't buy a house, we should just buy like a.
You should buy an Airbnb, something you can Airbnb and
Yeah.
use, right?
And she was like, well, I'd rather do a mountain house because you could rent that out in the winter too for skiers and stuff.
You can, and I've done that. I've done that with the Poconos. You can use it. It's like, it is good. You can do that year round, just like Florida is still year round too, but you're gonna get the majority of people renting from, call it September, really October till May in Florida. Because it gets hot in July and August and September.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty good for the Poconos and mountains year round. Pretty stable.
Yeah, my brother has one. It's actually his is in Minnesota.
Mm.
And he bought in with his brother-in-law. And I guess between the two of them, they made 138,000 last year. Well,
Nice.
profit was about 80 some thousand or something like that.
That's killer.
Yeah. They rent it out all year round because ice fishing during the winter.
And it's a
then,
land of 10,000 lakes.
yeah, and then the summers, boating and stuff like
Boating,
that, yeah.
fishing, regular fishing, right? Not even ice
Yeah.
fishing, swimming. Yeah. It is. It's hugely popular there.
Yeah.
Michigan's got a little bit of that too, right? With some of these areas where we've bought, they got
Yeah,
some.
I was thinking about, I saw a couple of them and I'm like, that would actually wouldn't be bad, because it's cheap. It's
Yep, cheap
affordable.
enough.
Yeah.
Not so much you can rent it for. But yeah, it seems like Minnesota does get more for whatever reason. I don't know whether it's better. I guess there's so many lakes, right? There's so many. There's
Yeah.
probably
There's high taxes there though, and it's expensive. Some of
Mhm.
that stuff that we're looking at in Minnesota it gets pricey.
It's really expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, and the Poconos right now are outrageous. They're so expensive, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, going back 5 years ago, I was picking up things real cheap there. Now, since COVID, it really a lot more New Yorkers moving there, North Jersey people saves the
Oh,
money.
yeah.
It's a lot cheaper. A lot
Yeah. I
cheaper.
mean, anything lakefront is
Mhm.
at least 1.1.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's
And
ridiculous.
that was like 21 when I was looking, because my parents were looking in like 20 and 21, and then they bought the place in Annapolis. And now they're looking
It's a good
again.
spot.
Yeah.
This is a good spot.
Yeah, we're going there on Saturday morning. We'll be there for like 8 days, 9 days.
Beautiful. Oh, you're going for the fourth holiday.
Yeah, all
Yep.
next week. Come back next Sunday.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
I
By the
need-
time I get back, then we can golf.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll be back in, I guess, the 10th, right?
10th. I'll be back on
Yeah.
the 10th. Yeah.
Yep. Cool.
So we'll catch up. We'll do
We'll
golf
golf.
there. We'll golf at Manny's. Maybe we'll do both if we
Yeah,
can.
we could do both. I need to get some golf in.
I haven't been to Indian Valley since I worked over at Univest. I haven't played golf there since it's Univest basically
Really?
it's their club.
Oh
I've been
yeah.
there since then.
Yeah, there was a lot of executives that were there. There's a lot of members there now, actually.
Yeah. It's a great
Yeah.
club. It's a great course.
They dumped a bunch of money into it, and they're dumping a bunch more.
Yep. They
Yeah.
should. It's a growing
Well,
area up there.
We'll have to, after we play, we'll get lunch or whatever, and we'll have to have
Yep.
my Uncle Mike come over.
Yep. Let's do that.
He can't play anymore. He's hands. So he can't grip a club.
I can't grip the club now. Yeah, it stinks. I feel bad for him.
Yeah,
He was never like a crazy big golfer, but he golfed.
he did. I
Yeah.
used to play with him a bunch, actually.
It is it sucks with his hands and he's had to deal with it. Now my dad had the shoulders, but his shoulders better now. Now he's here. He's playing all the time.
Yeah.
His back hurt the other. I shot a 96 the other day. I was really happy about that, especially I shot in a year and a half. I shot for 48 in the front half, front nine, 2 pars back to back. The worst I had was a double bogey. And then on the back nine, a 48 again, another 48.
Consistent.
No pars or no birdie. I had birdie opportunity, turned it into a bogey, 2 putted on it.
I hate those.
I was putting really well, and that's the key, right? If your putting is good that day, it can really save your butt.
Yeah.
It-
And you're chipping too.
Chipping is huge.
Yeah.
And I'm still getting, I'm still, my chipping is so inconsistent. This is really bad. I'm gonna tell you that if it's like close to the green and it's fairly good, I'll putt it. Because I'm
Really?
better at putting it than I am at chipping it. I can putt it closer than I can chip it. It's crazy.
And it's like my chipping is like, it was always like hit or miss.
Mhm.
I watched a Phil Mickelson video on chipping, and he explains it so much better than anybody else,
I'll have to listen to that one.
just because it's really simple. I'll send you the video. So I started doing that. My chipping's been like awesome.
Because that's a hard part of the game, chipping.
Yeah.
Really hard. Now my chipping was actually really pretty good the last time I went. But if I have a chance where I'm close enough and the surface is good enough, I still don't mind putting it. I almost buried a couple like 40, 50 foot putts that were off the green still.
Yeah. If you can roll it like that, why not?
Yeah. It's less risk. And there was too much water around where if I would have chipped it, boom,
Yeah.
it's in the water. And I was trying to avoid that. I'm like, all right, this is a safer shot. But that's fun. It's a challenging game. And you have good days and bad days.
I have a friend that used to try to do that from the bunker, chip it all the way up.
Oh man. That's where I was really good. That actually helped save me the other day. Out of the sand bunkers, I was out of them perfect. I was
I-
even using 6 irons and driving them like 60, 80 yards down. Like, oh, this is
Yeah.
perfect. Sometimes you just get days like that where just everything was
I
working.
can't get out of the bunker. I used to be okay, and now I'm just so bad. It's
It's
like,
hard,
and I'm a good chipper now too. So
but it's different. Chipping
Yeah.
and out of the bunker is totally different.
I was trying to find like an afternoon one day this week that is okay that I can go over and go to the practice facility, just work on it.
I'm going to stop the recording.